All right, first meal of this fat loss phase, broccoli and cauliflower, just a bag of steamed veggies, and 5 eggs. And that is how we get this one rolling. Step one. I'm gonna go with the first video you saw. That's gonna be where we're going to take our progress videos. I was kind of shopping around for the best lighting in regards to how I set up my lighting to take progress pictures. We have a video on this YouTube channel on what I believe is the best way to standardize your progress pictures and get the most honest feedback. Issue with this side of the house, this is where the sun rises, so depending on what time of the day it is, I can make for some funky lighting, as you can see. So we're gonna stay on the north side of the house or get lighting from that side. So yeah, we are going through a mini cut phase, and a few things I want to basically I guess, well, my goals for this fat loss phase. Firstly is to get myself down from, if you're into body fat, I'm about 12-13% right now. I'm looking to get down to about 7 or 8. That is about the low end of my body fat set point. Anything after that, it's just not as much fun. Training tends to be inconsistent, mood, dietary compliance, all those things that happen when we get way too lean. So I want to get there and then basically go through my last building phase of this off season. And I decided to pull the trigger on the fat loss phase so that it can set me up for next year's contest prep, which I think I'm going to be active through most of the fall. So most of the fall of 2017 is what I'm aiming for. So yeah, good time to kind of trim down, get myself down to about 171, 172, or thereabouts, and then gain slowly until I get back to somewhere around where I'm at right now. And yeah, hit up a bunch of those fall shows, which are very, very cutthroat. And we'll get into that a little bit more as I kind of open up that can of worms and take you guys through what the schedule will potentially look like next year. But yeah, I think another thing I wanted to do here is just kind of take you guys through what I feel is an appropriate way of going through a mini cut phase. So when you're going through a mini cut phase, chances are you're at about the higher end of your body fat set point. So things can be quite accelerated. I don't want to spend any more than 8 weeks here, 8 to 10 weeks maybe, and then get back to gaining. Any longer than that is going to severely cut into my gaining phase, and I definitely don't want that. So 8 to 10 weeks is what we're looking at, and yeah, just be very in and out, and it's gonna work. It's gonna sink in with a lot of things that are going on with my personal life. So for example, here in the summer, there's just so many activities that require food, and of course Fort Collins, the city that I live in, is a beer town. So I'll be able to partake in that with well, it's going to be a lot easier to do so when I am eating a bit more. So hopefully that's one of my incentives to get this done too, as well as I want to be able to enjoy my summer and everything that the town has to offer. So yeah, and then also I just want to take you guys through what I feel hopefully is an educational process. So it's more than just about getting myself into a good position to gain again. A lot of it is just to kind of take you guys through the ins and outs of how to formulate a good mini cut phase. So it will be nothing like a contest prep diet where, again, you are, especially in the later stages, once you hit the low end of your body fat set point, you know, you definitely are trying to lose at a much slower rate. This is going to be quite accelerated, and there's definitely going to be some transient muscle loss. And what I mean by that is just or not muscle loss, but lean body mass loss. Most of it's going to be in the form of just me running around a little bit flatter than I'm used to. So if I look stringy during certain phases, it's because we're running through this pretty quickly. And trust me, even though I know that it's just flatness, it still bugs me, and I will definitely do my best to be open about that. So yeah, hopefully you guys get a lot from this, and going to do my best to definitely be very open with the whole process. And also, I think just putting this out there and really doing my best to document the whole thing is going to just put a little pressure on me to stay on track. So it's a win-win, and we're both helping each other out. So next video, what we're going to do is we're going to go over how the calories are set up, what the high days, the low days in terms of refeeding schedule, what that looks like, what changes I might have made to my training, and definitely be transparent about how the fat loss is going. So I will be taking, I think, progress videos. I think at first, perhaps maybe every week, and then once it slows down a little bit, probably every other week. But I definitely want you guys to see how that goes. The first month or so is going to yield some pretty good results, I feel. After the first month, I think I'll be close to being back in what I would assume is single digits for myself. One thing for sure is that I tend to hold body fat in a pretty favorable way, and a lot of that just has to do with, for sure, just the fact that at this point I do have a little bit of muscle on me, which kind of tends to contour and make stored body fat look a little better. But then also I think a lot of it is just, right there in my butt. So my limbs first lean out, and then torso, and then for sure legs get very lean. So so yeah, it's probably the reason that I look a little bit leaner than, I guess, what a lot of people feel 12 to 13% body fat actually is. And then also the lighting we're using is just honest. It's not to make me look better than I actually look, because that would defeat the purpose of that. Those stage lights don't lie, and that's basically the direction and where we're heading. So yeah, we start planning for our next contest prep about a year out, and I'm so big on positioning yourself and being in the best place to start a prep. And I firmly believe in order to get that right, you basically have to start, the year before your prep is a good time to kind of start strategically formulating a plan and know where you're going to be over the course of the next year or so. So this video here was just kind of to show you guys a little side project that I have. So as you can see, my trap 3 and trap 4 on my right side don't fire really well sometimes, and that's just something that I've always kind of battled. As you can see, there's a little bit of atrophy going on there of late, and I suspect that's one of the reasons as to why certain pressing movements have caused me some issues. So we're going to definitely try to get that thing back in order and have that thing working again. And I think as I get leaner, you'll be able to see just how much it's actually misfiring at times, and then also how it makes a comeback. One of the strategies, though, while we're here is, this machine here, it hits those muscle fibers, and it's something that you really cannot do with conventional gravity. So hammer strength high row machine, one of my favorite machines for sure. So yeah, if you have one, I would definitely say it's worth a try and seeing if you like it. If I didn't have the CO rows and I didn't like those that much as much as I do, I would definitely make this my prime mover. It's such a fantastic machine. And the good thing about it is that most gyms actually have it. So it's one of those things that when I am on the road, I can almost always find that. So it's often in my rotation. But that's it. Just that's the latest. We're entering a fat loss phase, and I was kind of torn as to what I wanted to do. But I guess my thinking here was, just the fact that when I do start my contest prep, at some point, say I think it's going to be like May 2017, I want to be lean enough so that it isn't the ride isn't too turbulent. And again, the closer you are to your genetic ceiling, and I know I sound like a broken record. I've said this many times. The easier it is to lose a lot of those muscle gains. And especially in my case, where my body is very pro just giving it all away. That's kind of the catch-22 to when it comes to. I'm very catabolic. I'm very good at losing body fat, but at the same time, past a certain point, I'm also very good at losing muscle. So again, this is this dieting phase. I'm starting somewhere in the middle of my body fat set point, probably towards the higher end, to be quite honest. And because of that, we can be a bit. We can pace it out a bit quicker. So yeah, no stutter stepping, which is something that I kind of see a bit too often with fat loss phases. Is that you need to some extent, especially since you're carrying, you're not necessarily usually at your leanest, right? It's especially if you can adhere to it, and that's super important. There's in some cases, and for some athletes, there's nothing wrong with perhaps just trying to be as efficient as possible while going through that phase. So that's the goal here. It should be. Yeah, I wanted to call it a fat loss clinic, is like I guess the title, Alberto's fat loss clinic on his way to being elite, or something like that. But that's definitely what I want it to be. I want to kind of show people how to mini cut. I think sometimes there's just not enough contrast between a mini cut and a contest prep diet. Often people approach their fat loss phases much in the same way that they would approach a contest prep diet. And if your ending point is not contest ready, I don't think you necessarily have to. And I think it cuts into your gaining time. So yeah, that's my reasoning behind this. That's how I am going to approach this. And yeah, again, hopefully it sets me up to have a really good 2017 season. And also, I hope that I'm able to just give you guys some ideas on how to orchestrate your next mini cut. But yeah, that's it for me. I'll leave it here. Again, thank you guys so much for the support. Next video, we will get into the training phase. So it's probably going to be a bit more classroom-ish. We'll be in front of the whiteboard, and we'll go over my calories, my training split, and a few other and just a few of the details of the current plan. But I'll leave it there. And per usual, I appreciate the support, the patience, and I look forward to I guess getting my summer shreds on with you guys.